Today is Saturday, October 25th. I just parked at the commercial street parking garage in downtown Bellingham, and I'm about to head down to the Hotel Leo for Pacific NerdWest 2025. I'm very on theme today. I'm wearing my Thor t-shirt. I got my Loki Loungefly, and I'm ready. Pacific NerdWest, here we come.
One of the people on the team who identifies as a huge big nerd. Love all of the fandoms and fictional worlds that I immerse myself in and have become a fan of. And as a result of that, I love going to Comic Cons. I've gone to Emerald City a couple of years. I'm going back again this next March, and I am so excited. I've been to WonderCon, and I've also been to what once was hosted up at the Ferndale Convention Center known as Bellingham Comic Con. And I've only been a couple of times to that one, but it was one that I remember going to as a teenager with my dad, and I went to another one a couple years back. And while I haven't been able to attend every single year, I've loved that we've had, even for just a day, right, these day-long pop culture comic conventions right here in our backyard, because sometimes not everybody's able to get down to Emerald City or San Diego, right? But they still want to be able to have a day where they can check out really cool comic book vendors, local artists and artisans, and be able to go cosplay in a space where everybody else is doing the same thing and loving it. So I loved that Bellingham had a Comic Con and was able to maximize this really fun day full of just nerdy fun and awesome. I was super sad because I wasn't able to make it last year, and then I heard that the producers of Bellingham Comic Con were retiring the event. And then back in August, I was shopping at the comics place for comics, as one does, and I saw a poster up on their wall that said Pacific NerdWest, Bellingham's Comic Con, newest pop culture convention, and it said it was going to be happening in downtown Bellingham. And I was just super excited because, again, being able to have that community event for this demographic of people who love fiction and comics and RPGs and all of these pieces, right? We love these things, and being able to have that right here in our backyard that's accessible for everyone. And so I immediately put it on my calendar, also knowing that I had a couple other social events today, but I was like, I'm still going to go, even if it's just for a couple of hours. So I'm just really excited to go check out everything they have to offer. It's, if I remember correctly, run by the crew at the comics place, Colette, Django, and Jeff. So I'm really excited because these are obviously not just local business owners in our community, but they're people that love conventions, and so they have an idea of what they want to be able to provide for the community and how they want to do it. And I'm sure it's just going to be awesome because it's split between the Hotel Leo and also Penny Farthing / Chuckanut Distillery's ballroom. So I'm really curious how it's all going to go. Here's my agenda, because I only have 2.5 hours max. I am currently on my way to a commercial street parking garage where I'm going to park and then walk the 4 to 5 minutes just down the way to the Hotel Leo, which is, I believe, where I would then check in and get my wristband and stuff. So I'm going to start with the vendors where I think a lot of the comic books, and I'm assuming things like action figures and things like that are going to be. And then after the panel, I only have about 30 minutes or so before I have to scoot, because then I am heading to Coco Taps for our Office of Something Water Happy Hour, which is happening today. So then my goal for that last little section is to hit up, which I believe is across the street at the Chuckanut side, the Artist's Alley, and see if there's any artwork that I might want to scoop, which I'm really excited about. I am a sucker for especially comic book art. Anyways, I just entered downtown. I'm going to go park at Commercial Street and then walk to Hotel Leo.
Okay. There's one underneath.
Perfect, okay.
Okay, so we're just one at a time flipping in front of us. So you make a stack in front of you, and if you find a red, put it on one of these.
Oh, okay.
And if you find an orange now, you can put it on top of my red. So you don't have to, but I did it. There you go. That's the game. Yep.
And then if you have one next, do you just...
As long as it's the next one, yeah, so like that gets revealed.
That's crazy.
Yeah. All right, so that one's done.
Okay.
And we just keep going. And now you're fast at this, so I am not gonna hold back.
I'm like, wait. Ah!
But I don't have enough coffee in my system for this.
It's still early.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm out.
Oh, so you're gonna win because there you go. You win.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. I love that.
Oh my gosh, my name is Ellie and I own Art and Happiness. You can go to our website, artandhappiness.net, or you can stop by the shop because it's magical and amazing. And especially if you need last minute Halloween stuff, we have so many things to make your costume perfect, like cool pieces of paper or fun ribbons, you never know. And I get to be here doing the judging for the cosplay contest. Yes. So far, I have seen some amazing costumes. People are so creative. It makes me so happy. And so I had to be the judgiest cosplay, which is Mr. Peanut. So here we are, making sure everyone looks amazing.
Y'all, I knew it was gonna happen, and yet here we are.
I think this is such a cool way to, like so many other community events in town, activate our local business economy in our downtown spaces. I think I saw that if you have your wristband on, I don't know if it's just today or over the whole entire weekend, but that there are a bunch of local restaurants and businesses that are offering little deals and discounts if you have your wristband from the con on. So that's also a really cool way to be able to get people into some of these downtown spaces, whether they are from Whatcom County and coming into downtown, or they're coming from outside of the area to come in.
All right, so I think it was a successful day of shopping for Taylor at Pacific NerdWest. Okay, so one of the booths I stopped by was Matt Youngmark Choose-O-Matic books, where you get to choose your own adventure. I think are really, really clever. It takes so much strategizing and creativity and like plot building brain power to be able to put something together like this, because there's so many different prompts. And so essentially the way this works, I purchased the time traveling dinosaur because of course, and essentially, you know, you start, there's some passages where you're reading, right, giving yourself context for the situation. And then at the end of a certain passage, it says, hey, if you choose this option, go to page, 7. If you choose this option, which is different from the first one, go to page 9. So essentially you're kind of bopping around and in some ways creating your own playthrough, like butterfly effect of this. There's 76 endings, or if I don't find one of the 76 endings, then I just get stuck in a time loop. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how many times I get stuck, because I feel like I would do that. But I'm excited about this because I've never owned a choose your own adventure book before, so I thought that was pretty cool. And he even signed it for me, which is also very cool. So not only did I hit up the Comics Place booth, but I also checked out James and Charles Comics and then the Subspace booth, which is a local comic book store down in the Linwood area. So we have this nice Avengers number 185 to 206 and annual number 9. So essentially, so many in one. It's also cool to be able to see all the different variety of comics that each local shop brings to stuff like this. just be able to like peruse really cool stuff. So we have this guy right here. We have a Wonder Woman 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120. Now we're jumping. It's a Wonder Woman New History of the DC Universe, issue number 1. This variant cover might be one of my favorite comic books I ever purchased for myself. Look at how freaking pretty she is. So lots of Wonder Woman. I love this variant so much. We have this variant edition for an Avengers number 1, Avengers Forever, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. And Atlantis Attacks Webs of Spider-Man with a special appearance from the Fantastic Four. Batman Streets of Gotham with Huntress and Man-Bat. Batman and Robin, and I'm like 99% sure that's Damian Wayne. DC Universe Rebirth comics, Batman, and there's some Catwoman and Batman on the cover. Face to face with the Dark Knight, Man of Steel. So we have What If Daredevil killed the Kingpin? Oh my God. What if Spider-Man never became a crime fighter? Marvel Adventure featuring Daredevil. This is a 1976 Daredevil. And look, there's T'Challa, there's Black Panther, and Namor, Submariner, which is pretty cool. Got some kind of goofy but fun Zatanna comics, which I love. Come Together Zatanna 3 and 4. This is a 1983, The Mighty Thor, Thunder God on the Threshold of Death. And I just thought this cover looked so sick with the Bifrost and everything, the Rainbow Bridge, like, oh. So cool. This is a Justice League Unlimited number 7 with literally freaking everybody. Batman, Robin, Black Canary, Superman, Stargirl, Cyborg, Green Lantern. I mean, there's so many people in this one. Blue Beetle, I didn't even see. Oh, there's Oliver, Green Arrow. I should know who this is. I'll read it eventually. Marvel Pride Special, which I love how just pretty and full, like stacked this lineup of characters is. You've got America Chavez, you've got Teddy, you've got Billy. There's just so many of them. Mystique. I love that they're punching out the Red Skull and what I'm presuming is Hydra. This is so cool. Got a fun DC multiverse comic, so kind of a collision with Warner Brothers. Batman, Garnet, Steven Universe, Bugs Bunny, Tom and Jerry, Adventure Time with Jake and Finn, Shaggy, Wonder Woman, Superman. So just a very cool, eclectic little like multiverses. And then last but not least for the comics, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, with a vibranium suit, which this just, I mean, come on. So cool. I'm a big sucker for comic book art. And so there were 2 artists that I bought some prints from, one of whom is actually local in Bellingham. First artist that I was immediately drawn to was Mindy Lee, and in doing a little bit of research, she is Portland based, so not too far from Bellingham, and she's done concept art for so many different entertainment studios. Marvel, Warner Brothers, Amazon, like she's done really cool concept art for these people, which I get because her art is just absolutely phenomenal. The 2 prints that I was immediately drawn to that I just had to get were this Dick Grayson Nightwing shot. I just love the lines and the color. It's got kind of this fun raised gloss on some of the edges and some of the shading. And I just think that this is so, so beautiful. And Dick Grayson is one of my favorite Robins, so I was like, of course. Keeping with the blue theme, she also had this, again, same thing with like the texture and the raised lines and just the way that it looks. It is a piece of Jinx from League of Legends / Arcane. I'm a very, very big Arcane fan. Jinx is hands down one of my favorite characters, and I just love how just casual and chill this piece is. I just think it's so beautifully well done. Okay, so now we're getting into some artwork that I found that I thought was so, well, okay, when you compare this style of art to Mindy's that I purchased for myself, I would say I typically go for art styles that are a little bit more like Mindy's, if that makes sense. This is probably a little bit outside of my wheelhouse in terms of art that I usually think to purchase for myself. But when I saw this booth, I just had to stop by it. Obviously it's so well done and so cool, but I think also too, it was because there were so many characters that he did that I love. And so that's probably what helped me gravitate more towards this really cool and different art style. So this is Sean Pagel, I believe I'm saying his name right. And he's very, very cool. He actually was published in New York City Comic Con's program this year, which is just absolutely epic. But he is an artist here in Whatcom County, like here in Bellingham. I don't know if abstract is the right word. I get very like these really cool pieces that are very patched together with different textures and lines and colors while still being very recognizable for for the characters that he put together, and I actually bought 3 prints. And so I got this really sick X-Man print. You've got Beast and Storm, Magneto, Jubilee, Gambit. Just, I mean, like, you can kind of see what I'm talking about with like just like the different textures and the color blocking. It was not an art style that I feel like I would usually pick for myself, but I am just obsessed with it, I think because these are characters that I really love so much. So we've got this really sick X-Men print. Kind of continuing on with the X-Men theme, we have this Scarlet Witch, and just the way that like the light is drawn and her face and the shadows, like it's just so cool, like what? And then this one I thought was really, really fun. I love all the color blocking on this, but this is a Batman and Robin print. So you've got Batman and Robin, and of course the Batmobile, and they're swinging through, which I just think is so, so cool. So yeah, Sean is local to Whatcom County, which I think is absolutely epic. There was another vendor there too where he had the coolest character sculptures that he created, and he's also from Whatcom County, operates in this area. I think he said, you know, maybe like Blaine, northern Whatcom County area. And that was the booth with Brian Major, AKA Major Arts, all sorts of different superheroes. And he had just this epic array of different characters from all sorts of different comic book and animated mediums. And it was really cool to see that. And to also see, you know, creators like a Brian and like Sean be from Whatcom County and be these really, really cool major art presences from our community at, you know, this event. And I'm sure this is not the only convention that they go to. Like I'm sure, you know, Emerald City or even SummerCon, those are probably events that they also make their way to. And it was cool to be able to bump into people that I recognize from the community. Obviously, Ellie from Art and Happiness was there. Always great to see her. And she had the coolest costume cosplay that she made for herself out of supplies from her own shop. It's a very cool way to be able to not just activate downtown, but again, curate a space for people who love things like comics and games and art, all things in the nerdy realm of awesome that people in Whatcom County and even beyond can access really easily and enjoy, even if it's just for a day. Because I think a lot of people think, well, it's just, you know, one day Comic-Con, you know, what all can you really do? And I think people forget just because it's not a full 3 or 4 day convention doesn't mean that it's still not making a huge impact in our community. You're still able to have a phenomenal opportunity to not just access these different creators and booths and this community event, but it's just a great opportunity to be able to convene with other people who love some of the same things that you do in an environment that I think is just so well done and so warm and welcoming. And I'm really looking forward to being able to go again next year, and major props to the team at the Comics Place because this was really, really cool.